everyone. Welcome to the Seller Growth Podcast. I got Carlos Alvarez today. What's up, Carlos?
What's up?
So today we're going to be talking about Amazon Live Video and some major changes going on with them. And Carlos, I know you're pretty deep into the whole Amazon world, including live videos. So, and you probably have a lot more knowledge than I do on it. So why don't you kind of kick us off on what are some of the changes that are going on? And hey, welcome everybody who's jumping on. We appreciate you being here.
Perfect. First of all, thanks for having me on the show. And I love the little intro jingle in the beginning. That was pretty wild. That was pretty good.
That's new.
Did you put that together yourself or what?
Yeah, I did. Thank you.
I love it, man.
Nice.
One of the newest things that there hasn't been any announcements on with Amazon Live Video, and it's a pretty massive change. One that was actually, I can't take all the credit for this, was pointed out to me by Jeff Cohen in Clubhouse. That's where everybody hangs out now, I guess. But is that when Amazon first rolled out, and everything that I've been talking about, doing to date, and continue to do still works. But when Amazon first rolled out Amazon Live Video, it was actually their second attempt. Let me give a little background here. It was their second attempt into going into Amazon Live Video. The first one, I think it was called like Decoder or something, or Recode, and it was the department heads going live, and it was a dumpster fire. So the second one that we're aware of is the brands themselves, like empowering them to be able to go live on their own behalf, and something that became readily apparent is that brands sort of suck at going live and creating content. Like, creating content is an entirely different zone of genius, if you will. And it's very little overlap usually. Like, a successful private label seller doesn't necessarily mean a successful content creator. So Amazon, it seems like late last year or the beginning of this year, decided, you know what? Like, if people keep creating this bad content, Amazon Live Video might not make it. We need to do something. So what they did is they pivoted to influencers. So if you notice that when you go live on Amazon through the Live Creator app, you have three ways to go live. One of them is Seller Central, which is in brand registry, which most of us are aware of. And then you have Vendor Central, the 1P side. And then finally, Amazon Influencer Program, which is a program that almost anyone can get into, really. It's a way to just make some commissions off, being an influencer on certain products on Amazon. But one of the features, once you're in the influencer program, is that you can go live as an influencer and not just a brand. And Amazon looks like they've just quadrupled down on that, to where they want to see these influencers who, while they're not brand owners in most cases, do specialize in creating content and shows, things that people will want to come back to and keep seeing. And these influencers do not have to be boxed into just going live about one brand. Their channel, say we're doing this episode now, and you and I were going over like mics and headsets and different camera equipment and stuff for podcasters. We could show a whole bunch of different brands. So it's very lucrative for the influencer. It works for Amazon. It's a win-win-win.
Yeah, absolutely. So Carlos, just to kind of break down some of the basics, like, is everybody eligible to go do the live videos? Is there lengths of time? Do you know anything about like some of the restrictions and some of the guidelines around the different videos, using the video service?
So one of the major restrictions is that you can't go live unless you're going live into one of those three ways. So you're in either Amazon Influencer Program, which again is easy to get into, but then you need an additional level of permission to be able to go live as an influencer, which is quite difficult. And I just recently gained access to that after harassing everybody and their mother in the Amazon Live department on LinkedIn. And then you have the brand registered version, which is probably the easiest for most people to get into. And that is you're brand registered, or you're selling on behalf of another brand who's given you access via brand registry to go live. And then you have brand registry via Vendor Central. So those are the only three ways that you're going to be able to go live. Some of the other restrictions, I'll try to mention some that are beyond just say normal terms of service. Like Amazon still does not want you to take people off their platform. You still can't create content that like glamorizes tragedy, like some of those obvious ones. But some of the not so obvious ones are that you can't do is looped video. So you know this. I mean, you're like a genius when it comes to this like YouTube video and video creation. But so like some of the lazier content creators are like, well, this is easy. I'm going to pre-record some content. I'm going to go live. I'm going to bring in like vMix or something like that. And I'm just going to loop this video and I'll be live 24/7. So Amazon doesn't want that. They're not saying that you cannot use pre-recorded content, but you can't just run these loops. And they've also said that, a large, I forget the verbiage, but it's in their terms of service, but they're very vague, typical Amazon, about how much of your video can be pre-recorded or not. Like where I find that pre-recorded video works really good is, say you're using a tool like Video Ask or something, and you have video testimonials and reviews on your product, and you want to do something, do it better than this, but you want to do something like, don't listen to us, listen to, and then start bringing up these actual videos of testimonials and reviews of your product into your live stream. That works really effective. If you're doing a video and say it's on a pool and you're trying to, gain a lot of traction before the summer, and your selling point there is that it's very easy to assemble. It's probably not a good idea to go live trying to assemble a pool. You could pre-record the portions that most people struggle with and then bring that into your stream. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yeah, that totally makes sense. And we did have a question come in, so let me jump over there real quick. Right, we got a question came in. Is there a difference between Amazon influencers and Amazon affiliate program?
Yes.
Thanks for those questions, by the way. Keep them coming.
I love the name too, and the picture. Look at that, like Gizmo.
You know what that's from, right?
Gremlins, man.
The Gremlins, the old show. So go ahead.
Don't feed them after midnight. Yeah, it is different.
Yeah.
Exactly. What all those differences are, I'm not 100% sure. I'm in both of them. My Amazon influencer page actually. One of the big differences I feel is on the Amazon affiliate side, you don't have a dedicated landing page and URL that's just your stuff. So here you get a full-blown page. Like imagine, I'm not sure how familiar you are who asked the question. I'll call you Gizmo. I don't know how familiar Gizmo is here, but if you ever like rabbit hole down when somebody left you a review on Amazon, you'll notice that some people who've left reviews are just this anonymous person, but there's a page. And other people, they've completely tricked out their reviewer profile. They have pictures, they have their wish list available to the public. The better profiles you see are actually Vine reviewers, but you get a page like that, a dedicated URL, and then where you don't get that on the associate side.
There goes Victor.
Victor. All right,
thanks,
Victor.
Keep those questions coming, guys. Yeah, exactly. That's awesome. Yeah, that's some good information. Yeah, and again, thanks everybody for joining us. I got Carlos Alvarez, Wizards of Amazon or Wizards of Ecom now, which we'll get to a little bit later. And today we're talking about the Amazon video. So Carlos, I don't know if I asked this, but have you done any of the videos yet or been a part of doing them? Why don't you tell us what was that process like?
Sure. We currently do about 2 videos a day almost that we're going live on behalf of our brands. I don't offer it as a service. I'm sure. I don't know. There's been there's some opportunities potentially brewing where I might team up with some people to do this. It's a lot of moving parts when you're talking about going live, especially if you're going to do it as an influencer. But currently I don't offer it as a service or anything. I just share everything that I know about it, what I've learned, what I've realized doesn't work. And we go live about twice a day now. Now, what that's like going live, the majority of the time I'm not in the video anymore. Fortunately, I'm in a position where I don't have to be that, and I have a face for radio, as you would say. But the process is very straightforward. You go live, you connect your phone to You don't have to, like you can just go live selfie style, but connect your phone to something like vMix, which I like. And vMix is going to allow you to like bring in your graphics and all of that. I would say before you go live, have an idea of what you're going to go live about. So you could use something like Answer the Public, BuzzSumo. You could literally just write down all of the frequently asked questions on all of your products and all of your competitors' products and just go live about that. And each live video, yeah, and each live video is something else, and you're actually addressing something that's relevant. You could look at your negative reviews. One of the things that we had an issue with initially is like, we have this product, we didn't feel like it lended itself to live video.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
Developing a live video strategy sort of sucks. If you feel like you only have one topic that you could go live on, looking at Answer the Public and the frequently asked questions allows you to you could go live twice a day, and that's where we're at. So something that we do is using vMix will allow you to bring a lot of like graphics on the screen, and we'll bring things on like countdown timers. We'll bring like the main image of our product. We'll bring up a promo code on screen. The gallery beneath our video, we'll bring other complementary products into the stream. What that does is that's going to allow those product, like say I'm launching a product and I want my product to be visible on other product detail pages that have a lot more eyeballs on them. And these hopefully would be my other products. So by adding them in the gallery on my live stream, I'm now going to appear as a live video on those much higher trafficked product detail pages. And then what I do is something that I just refer to as a verbal search find by, in that it's verbal, and I'll bring the main image on screen and tell people, search for this product. I have this promo code and it's only good for the next 3 minutes. And we have that countdown timer, bringing that sense of urgency onto the screen. And that's just worked amazing to use live video for launches.
Yeah, I like that. I have to say, I think one of the good approaches, like you were just saying, what if people, let's just take whatever product it is you're selling, and let's say people are struggling with, how to use it or a certain feature on it. I mean, you could definitely go on there and do a whole thing about here's how it works, here's how you use that feature. Then I loved how you talked about using it as possibly a way to maybe answer some of the questions in the Q&A or comments that have been listed, or, hey, by the way, we just came out with the new version 2.0 and we addressed all the negative reviews, or something like that. So I think that's a great way, besides just promoting it. I mean, promoting the product is great. So have you found, so it sounds like you said you're going twice a day. How long are you guys going for? And what kind of results are you seeing from using the Amazon Live Video?
Yeah, good question. We shoot for about 30 minutes. Something I will say is that Amazon Live Video works better the longer you go. I'm not saying you will not get any results if you go live for 5 minutes, but I would say the minimum you should look for is about 10 minutes. That may seem like a lot to somebody who's not gone live before, but before you've really like introduced yourself, talked about the goals of the show, and then had some form of ending and outro and a call to action referring to maybe the next episode you're doing, it's really not that much. Like, you'll realize that you almost don't have enough time. So I would say 10 minutes bare minimum. Ours sit around 30. Also, we're not creating brand new content each time we go live. So we try to go live 3 to 5 times on each piece of content or topic that we want to go live on. And then we'll determine how many times to go live on it based on the results we've gotten from the earlier ones. But we'll go live at least 2 or 3 times for a specific piece of content. So twice a day, looking at like almost 700 pieces of content. But of that, some of those contents, like going live 3 to 5 times on each one. So it's not as much as you think.
Yeah, exactly. No, that's good. And we got some questions coming in. We really do appreciate that. Keep those questions coming. We're going to answer them in just a second. Got to just pause real quick for a quick commercial break. This podcast is brought to you by Accrueme.com. Head on over to Accrueme.com for a 3-minute instant Amazon funding estimate. Be sure to mention the podcast. There we go. So we're back. Yeah. So let's hit up some of these questions that are coming in right now. And let's see, I saw one just come in. I'll throw it up on the screen here. How does Amazon decide to show our products to customers? Can we control who sees our live videos? That's an interesting one. Yeah. How much control do you have, Carlos?
Yeah, no, that's great. I know Yaching too. That's got to be, that is a brilliant seller right there, and a friend of mine too.
Nice.
So yeah, that's an awesome question, Yaching. Let me just read it out loud again. That's how my mind works. How does Amazon decide to show our products to customers? Can we control who sees our live video? I'm going to say, fortunately, in this case, Amazon decides for the most part, especially when you first start, as to who's going to see your live video. And that's absolutely amazing, because I think we could all agree that Amazon is the best source of knowing, or the best person to know buyer intent and than anyone else in the world, maybe arguably more than Facebook, as far as physical products, like what someone's going to buy. Like if somebody buys a toothpaste, we know that they're going to buy, and it's this unrelated thing. They know what people are interested in. They know buyer intent. The way you're going to get the most exposure initially on a brand new product is by showing up on other people's product detail pages. Outside of that, the next best way I'm finding to get people to see what you're going live about is the Amazon live video, and now storefronts too, which you probably noticed, have a follow button, like to follow the brand. I'm hearing rumblings that there's actually a new ad type even coming out, which is going to be similar to like the likes to page on Facebook. And this is going to be like an awareness play to like follow your page. And if someone's following you, they're also going to know when you go live. But when you're going live, the major call to action, similar to YouTube, when it's like subscribe to my channel and ring the bell to be notified, it's very similar. You're going to ask people to follow you. And they're just going to click that button in the top left of the screen, or I guess, yeah, they're top left. And what that does is, now when you schedule lives and when you actually go live, everyone who followed you that has the Amazon app on their phone, they're going to get a push notification to your phone that this creator or this brand is going live with something new. That has worked wonders to really getting it in front of people that you want to get in front of. Finally, you have a dedicated URL to each one of your videos, so you can push this out to your ManyChat list, to your email list, just countless ways. You can send it to an influencer you're working with. Those would be the best ways to get your video in front of people that you want to see it. Does that help, Yaching?
Yeah, we'll see. Go ahead and comment if you need more information on that, or we need to answer that question a little better. More comments in, lots of highs, Carlos. Obviously, a lot of people know Carlos, so we really appreciate that. And I know we're having, I am having a little bit of internet trouble on my end. It's kind of a little flaky, so yeah, hang in there with us. We're getting some more questions coming in already, so here we go. Thank you, Carlos, for the detailed explanation. Yeah, there you go. Awesome. Yeah, we do appreciate it. And be sure to hit that like and subscribe, just like Carlos said. Obviously, I need the love over here on our YouTube also. And we're always helping each other out. Carlos, let me remove this off the screen. So real quick, Carlos, what about also, are they storing the videos now? Are they storing so you can access them? Are they showing up in your product page if you make them specific? Or are they kind of just general in your store? Maybe cover that just a smidge more. Yeah,
they're not staying like right now, they don't have a feature where you can just pin it. And like, this is just a live video that will constantly be showing in your storefront. It does look like, I've not seen this personally, but I've seen posts on Facebook of, I think Leron and a few others were posting some stuff that they're starting to show up as like a rail of like your last few live videos, or I don't know if you're going to have the ability to pick which of your live videos show, or if it's just recency, but that's coming. I've not been able to work with that yet. It looks like it's brand new. Yeah, I think that answers it. And and as far as the lifetime of the video, yes, it looks like they last forever, but it's about the same or worse than Facebook. So in my regard, long form video just works best on YouTube, and a long form video on Facebook, it's kind of like day 2, day 3. Afterwards, you're not getting much action, has been my experience. That is also true with with Amazon Live Video currently. Now, Amazon is all about those ads. I wouldn't be surprised if you could boost in the future, but now I'm just getting into my own little wish list, but it's not what's available now.
Yeah, it kind of does seem like they are trickling into that whole YouTube world a little bit, right? I mean, you know, I have not personally done the videos. I am familiar slightly with it, hence why I wanted Carlos on to talk about it. He's dove into that world, and he's here to answer questions for you guys on anything regarding the Amazon Live videos. So Carlos, again, with me not being 100% on that, you know, once you've actually finished the video, can you do thumbnails, titles, descriptions? Can you keyword these things? I'm just thinking like on the YouTube side, or is that something they haven't got to yet and they might get to as far as it looking more like that? And certainly like making it for search. Yeah,
I have no doubt that they're going to get to that. It's something that's really exploding, that's doing really well. Currently you don't have that, but you can set up what your thumbnail would look like based on just like what you're going to be looking like on screen, or what's that first stuff you want to be appearing on screen. I do see some people's videos with a thumbnail, so I'm imagining that it's a feature that exists and is rolling out, and I've just not gained access to it.
Gotcha. Yeah. So, I mean, it sounds like it's kind of just a long commercial, right? Or either long how-to, a long commercial, or maybe a long question and answer session, or maybe a mix of all of them is kind of what you're using it for. Did you cover success rate, like other than it being, it sounded like the first 24 hours were, but do you have like some data? Like, are you seeing your sales increase, or is it just watching the video increase?
No, it's definitely had a very significant impact on sales. The metrics that you get from the live video are very robust, which is exciting to me because I don't know if you remember Spark, the Amazon Spark program, which I was also very excited about that, and they killed it. And Spark had like no metrics. So it looked like they weren't that serious about it. Here, somebody took the time to really build out some cool metrics, and you get to see your halo effect and everything like that. But yeah, I'm seeing a significant impact on sales.
That's great. I mean, that's definitely a positive.
Let me say this. I'm seeing a significant impact in sales. And then I've been fortunate enough to look over a few people's shoulder and work with a few people that they had a product that, you know, it was like hindsight's 2020. They picked a bad product. They were thinking, you know, liquidation. And one of them at first, they had some experience with YouTube and doing YouTube videos. So going live was not like the scariest thing in the world for them. And they had, you know, they had some basic stuff. So they're like, hey, Carlos, I saw the post you did on blank. Do you think this would help? And I'm like, well, I definitely wouldn't hurt. So what happened here was, in this particular category, they were dealing with what they called, you know, a bunch of, you know, Chinese factories selling the product direct and tanking the price. But going live actually allowed them to step apart from their competitors because the Chinese factories were not going live. And it allowed them to really break through, as well as allow them to run radically reduced PPC. So I'm not suggesting you should run less in the form of PPC, but not only are you going to see an impact on your sales, it's something that could make you less of a slave to PPC. So that's something to consider as well, saved PPC cost.
Yeah, that's good. And so we're getting more questions coming in. So let's jump over to them and we'll get these answered as we go. Larry was asking about, can anyone publish live videos? I think you answered that earlier, but go ahead and just reiterate it for him.
Yeah, sure. Anybody that has brand registry or is in the Amazon influencer program with live video access.
Yeah, perfect. Actually, there was a follow-up here from Larry also. Where do you go to set it up? That's a good question.
It's all based from an app. It's the Amazon Live Creator app, which anybody can download. You'll download it, and then you'll see the 3 ways that you can go live. So Vendor Central, Seller Central, Brand Registry, and Influencer. You click one, and then you're going to use your same credentials that you log into Amazon Seller Central with, or whichever one you pick, and then you're in. So if you tried to log in with one and you don't have the brand registry, or you don't have the additional permissions to go live as an influencer, it'll just stop you right there. Now, once you have that, now we start getting it's not that techie, and I'm so not techie. I'm like a copy and paste kind of person. So you're then going to want to connect this. Everyone says the simplest one, and it's definitely the freest one, is OBS. I'm not a huge fan. I just find it wonky. The paid version of that, or its paid counterpart, is vMix. It looks like you can also use Ecom Live, but all that's going to do is it's going to allow you to really connect your phone as a source and do all this on your computer. Bring in, like, anybody watching this, video, you're going to see, like, I have a DSLR camera hooked up versus my computer's camera. You can improve some stuff. You do not need to. I have actually found that lesser production resulted in better results. So it's almost like if you went right off your phone or some Logitech USB webcam, it did better than this like avatar like quality production. And it also just allowed you to do it a lot more. One thing you don't want to skimp on is the audio. I can definitely say that if your audio, no one really wants to hear bad audio.
Yeah, you stole my question there, Carlos. I was going to ask about, have you experimented with like a little more professional quality versus ones that are more, off the cuff and just like talking? And have you done a little A/B testing on that?
Yeah, no, we've definitely tested the heck out of it, and it definitely looks like poor audio. Not even poor audio, but just you'll hear the difference, like how you sound right now. I'm hoping how I sound right now sounds a lot different than if I was talking into my phone and my phone was on a tripod a few feet in front of me and there was echoes, and no one really wants to stick around with that too long. I just think you can also, let me step up. You can also achieve that audio very simple. You don't need a mic like I have now. As a matter of fact, the mic I really like that plugs right into your phone is the Sennheiser. I can send you a link later. You can put in the comments. But
search Amazon for it.
yeah. It's a little Sennheiser mic. It plugs in. You could use a lavalier, nothing expensive, and it works nice. I plan on using this setup that I'm doing right now because now that I have access to go live as an influencer, I'm thinking about starting a channel where I'm the actual face of. To really explore a lot more. And it's something that I can actually share to my audience and say, look, I tried this and this is what happened and this is what this looks like. So hopefully soon there'll be a lot more of that to show.
Yeah, very cool. Very cool. So yeah, there's actually more questions coming in, and we definitely appreciate those questions. Hit that thumbs up, that like, and subscribe. Definitely appreciate it. And once again, the Seller Growth Podcast is brought to you by Accrueme. We do need to break for a quick commercial. Hang in there and keep bringing those questions in. We got lots more to go here. Hang tight. While the competition is counting all your money from your monthly payments and interest, Accrueme is helping you by no monthly payments and zero interest. Head on over to accrueme.com and mention the podcast. All right, we're back. So yeah, we just got a question that just came in, Carlos. So let's go ahead and let me pull that up real quick. Sorry, just take a second. So Giz, which I think we said it was Victor, if I'm not mistaken. Go ahead. I think I think you just talked about this actually. It was about the the quality. So if you're live on camera doing product demos, is it worth investing in high quality wireless lapel mic? I think you just said some. And then your recommendations. I mean, me personally, I've used lapel pins too. I mean, I'm using the Blue Yeti mic right now, but I have used a Rhodes clip-on mic in the past when I was doing some of my YouTube videos. Those are really good quality. What recommendations do you have, Carlos?
Yeah, I'm going to say I do recommend getting Vic, you referred to it in the question as like a higher quality lapel. That doesn't necessarily mean crippling or it doesn't mean too expensive either. Like there's some really, really affordable stuff out there. The Sennheiser I got, I wouldn't call it the most affordable, but I had already tested this and it was working really good. And I think it ran me like $189. And this thing sounds like, I sound like Morgan Freeman, I think. Like, it just sounds amazing, like when you're doing this. So I really do think that you should invest in something like that. If the tech intimidates you or the budget does not exist, I highly recommend you go live without it. You can get it later. It's going to be better for you just to start going live. your first few videos, they're going to be cumbersome. They're going to be clunky, and you need to just find your rhythm. You got to get them out of the way. So just go live.
Yeah. And Carlos, what would you recommend? Like if they are getting ready to do their first one, give a little guide on what have you learned from, doing the videos for a little while that maybe is little things that they'll hiccup on their first one. Like, should they just go straight into talking about the features of their product, or should they try to make it a little more personable? Kind of what have you learned with what you guys have done?
Well, taking it back to what I was mentioning at the beginning about something brand new, and I've done some podcast episodes on this, like breaking down everything that I do, is it looks like Amazon is moving towards you're going to have to make a decision. And that is, are you going to want to do this in-house? Are you going to want to go live in-house and like be able to go live whenever you want, however you want, and take control of this? Or are you going to want to, get this in front of an Amazon influencer? Like, I'm starting to hear rumblings that there's a few agencies out there that are offering it as a service, and they'll put you on their channel amongst a bunch of other sort of related products. And then that'll help you get a lot of exposure without having to go live. I don't remember any of the names, or I would totally share them here. I think one of them, well, I'll see if I remember, but you got to make that choice. I've obviously decided to take control and do it in-house. And that's for many reasons that would take, more time in the show to explain. That just works better for me. If you're going to choose to do it in-house, have a plan. I'm hesitant to say like write a script because you don't want to sound robotic, but having like a sticky notes with some bullets that's just going to help keep you on point. Or if you start, freaking out a little bit, you can just like glance at it and it's near your camera, like you're looking right at it. It doesn't look like you're trying to read something on the side. That'll help you stay on point. Hit the points you want to talk about. Ask for feedback. Something we haven't mentioned so far is that when you're going live, there's a chat feature on the side. So there's a live chat. And if you are going live and you're just completely ignoring your chat, you're pissing some people off. like they may have been on the fence to buy it, but they're no longer on the fence. If you just ignore their questions, they're just not going to buy your stuff. And that's another reason why trying to do looped video, even if you find a loophole with Amazon that'll allow you to get in some loop video, doesn't work. Because if you're acting like you're going live, but this entire time of this loop video, you're ignoring the people's questions on the side, that's going to be bad. So take a second to ask if anyone has any questions that are watching. You actually get to see approximately how many people are watching the live stream. Other bit of advice I would give you is that silence can be powerful. I found myself when I first started going live that if there was a moment of silence, that meant I was sort of like messing up. And it's okay to not fill every single second with your words. Take a pause, get a drink of water, like don't leave the room, but like grab your water, have a sip, keep talking. Again, this is very natural, very raw, and it's what people are looking for. So try to have a good time with it. Again, going to answer the public, going to the frequently asked questions section. If you're going to do this in-house on Amazon, going to the negative reviews and really like trying to flesh out 5 or 6 bullet points that you want to cover ahead of time would really, really make this easy.
Yeah, I like that. And you brought up a good point, telling people to ask questions. So we're telling everybody to ask questions for us. So once again, I got Carlos Alvarez, Wizards of Ecom, Wizards of Amazon, as a lot of people know him now. We're today talking about major changes in Amazon Live Video, and keep those questions coming. We definitely, we're probably going to wrap this up in about the next 10 minutes. So if you do have last minute questions to get in, send them on over. But Carlos, yeah, I love what you've been talking about with these live videos. The quality, paying attention, on-air presence, and you and I both know this. I mean, in the sense of getting on the air and just doing something live like we're doing even right now. It's not easy, and it's not necessarily made for everybody. But just try it. Just try it. Everybody starts off a little raw and a little rough. I mean, gosh, I think it was not too long ago. It's been a couple of years since I've done podcasts. And I went back and looked at one of my first ones. Oh, it was bad. Oh, it was so bad. Oh, man, the quality has changed so differently. And I'm sure Carlos is probably in that same boat. It's just, but oh yeah, we're jumping in here with some questions already coming up. Ooh, let me scroll down. All right. Well, actually, we're just getting lots of praises on the quality of the questions coming in and the content that Carlos is putting out. So yeah, definitely be sure to ask any more questions regarding it. You know, I'm trying to come up with more stuff. Again, I haven't had a chance to actually do it. Carlos, have we missed something? Go ahead.
Yeah, a few other things. I guess some actionable tactics that people could start using now. One of them that I glossed over a second ago. It's really the workhorse of getting the most out of live videos for me, and that is. And let me say this too. Like, I try to operate on 100% white hat. I do feel as business owners we should always push the limits towards gray. But I really strive not to ever recommend anything that is like dark gray or black hat stuff. To each their own. But I don't want to see anyone's account getting suspended. Having said that, I mean, the rules could change in a week or two. So I'm saying all that to say, well, one of the things that when you're going live, especially if we're talking about a launch or a relaunch, or just say you need to like resurrect a product and you want to check out Amazon Live Video for this, you have the option to have that product. And this is only going to work if you have more than one product, because you need to go live about a product and that product needs to exist in the gallery below. But if you do have multiple products in your brand and you want to do what I'm about to say, this really works. Do not include the product that you want to really laser focus on and, let's say, resurrect, breathe some life into. Don't include the product in the gallery. And the reason for that is, we understand the importance of targeting specific keywords. I'm assuming somebody's listening to this, they're, you know, beyond the basics, and they understand the importance of, you know, going after specific targeted keywords. And the way to do this in live video is, if you just include this product in the gallery below, then if somebody does buy the product, that's great, you got a sale, but I guess you're just going to be ranking for your canonical URL keywords, versus the creating the sense of urgency with a countdown timer. You can get this for like $10 built on Fiverr. So don't think you have to like build this yourself. And your main image and some graphics that you pull on screen, and letting people know, search for the word. You're familiar with search find buy. I'm just calling it a verbal search find buy because we're saying it verbally. Using that verbal search find buy is just working wonders. I don't know 100% yet if it has to do anything with the fact that Amazon's favoring Amazon Live Video, or the fact that it's just working great. But being able to target buyers that are on Amazon versus, you know, these freebie seeking deal groups is pretty powerful. Another bit of advice I would give, that's something that's just working great, and I cannot explain why. It's something I've gone back and forth with Norman Farrar on from Lunch with Norm. And that is, Norm's done some great presentations on the posts program. So I do great with Amazon posts program. And a little while back, the post program changed some rules that gives you a URL to your feed in posts. Drop that link to your feed inside of the chat of your Amazon Live Video. So it's allowing you, it's almost like if you have a really big Facebook group or Facebook page and you want to start growing your Instagram, you can drop stuff about your Instagram and sort of use them to build other channels throughout the Amazon ecosystem. And it's an easy way to do it. So just drop the link in the chat of your Amazon Live Video, and that's working great as well. Final tip. I don't know if we're pressed for time. You got time for one more, Rob?
No, we got time, but I want to loop back around to that chat. So hang tight one second. We got one more quick break here. More questions are pouring in, and I want to talk a little more about what the do's and don'ts on that chat. Hang tight one second here. This podcast is brought to you by Accrueme.com. With over $100 million to fund Amazon sellers, head on over to Accrueme.com for a free 3-minute instant Amazon funding estimate. All right, so we're back. Yeah, so let's talk a little bit about that, Carlos, and then we'll jump into some of these comments and questions that are coming in. So you can drop things into this chat that, you know, like we were talking about, you don't want to be black hat, but I mean, could you drive them externally? Could you drive them maybe to another product on Amazon that's maybe a complementary product? I mean, what have you seen? What's kind of your feel on that? Because we don't want to give out black. I mean, you don't want to get suspended or anything, but kind of maybe dive a little more on what you feel you can get away with and it would kind of be okay versus not in that chat area.
Yeah. Amazon does shut down feeds midstream. So, however, I remember Amazon owns Twitch. So if you want to see, like, just because they just started Amazon Live Video doesn't mean they don't know, they don't have the tools to monitor things in real time. So they own Twitch. I'm imagining the infrastructure and technology there with Twitch is, there's some sharing between the two. So your feed can get cut off midstream. I've never tested to, here's a link to my website. I would imagine that would be a very easy way to get your stream shut down. Just like Amazon suspending accounts when you get your live video privileges suspended. I don't know anyone that's come back from that, especially since just because they shut your stream down too doesn't mean you lose your live video privileges for life. But if you were to continue doing that, there's not even a mechanism to do a POA or something to get those back. So you're just done for the foreseeable future. Now, something to address your question directly that you can get away with is, and the way Amazon's terms of services are written right now regarding live video, I would think that this is not allowed, but everyone's doing it, is you can put up you're using a tool like vMix, you're bringing up, just like someone's looking at this, in case no one understands what vMix is, you have this, I guess, lower third down there that says Carlos Alvarez at Wizards of Amazon. And you see a lot of other cool graphics like Accrueme, Seller Growth Podcast. These could be your social media handles. So this could be ways, and you'll notice, like when you go live, you're going to see a spike in people requesting to join your group or liking your page or following you on Instagram. Like, this really increases. So currently you can definitely do that. And I know of no one that's had their stream shut down for that. What I like to do with that is, remember, you're using vMix. So just like you have me, Rob, in here as a remote guest, what I found is that if you share the URL to your stream to an influencer, that's cool. They're going to share it out to their audience and everything. Like, imagine you, Rob, like I want, we're going to do a stream about, I want to sell some like video equipment or some financial tips or something that Accrueme knows how to do. One thing is for you to share the link to my stream to the audience. The other one is I bring you into my stream. And now you're telling your audience, like, I'm going live on Amazon. Here's the link. Hang out with me. So you're going to get a much greater result from the latter. What I've been doing is, when I'm working with an influencer that, is maybe charging too much and I want a little bit of leverage with them, I'll let, or I don't want to pay as much or whatever, I'll let them know that, look, this is what we'll do. You can go live and I'll let your social media handles be on the screen in front of my audience. So remember, you're on Instagram, a whole bunch of your followers you have no interaction with. You're about to go live on Amazon, and every single person watching this has their card loaded, ready to buy. So these are the people you want. And that seems to really help. So if we're talking about pushing limits, that's something that seems to be working really well right now.
Yeah, that's great. So Larry's got a couple questions that popped up here. He was mentioning something about maybe not on Android. So are you familiar with that? Is it not available on Android?
Neither is Clubhouse.
Yeah,
I'm going to start my Android jokes. No, but to the best of my knowledge, is it? I thought I saw it. It might not be. It might not be available on Android. But think about this: you grab yourself an iOS device, you get Clubhouse and Amazon Live Video.
Yeah, Larry had one more quick. Go ahead.
Yeah, Larry, I'm not positive about Android. I'd have to look that up and follow up with you. But I'm assuming if you just put Amazon Live Video available on Android, it'll probably let you know.
Yeah. Larry had one more follow-up question. So I think I meant to say, so it's not really live. You pre-record it, correct?
No, it's really live.
It's live, yeah.
Yeah, it's 100% live. Yeah, it's 100% live. You can drop in pre-recorded assets. Would that be the right word, Rob? I guess pre-recorded assets into your stream.
Yeah, it's kind of like we're doing here. I'm dropping videos in for commercials, so you can do stuff like that. Yeah, that's not that hard to do.
Yeah, you can definitely do that. Yes. Let me add something else too, because I think you were going to mention something about the chat. We're talking now and we're imagining this. I think as Amazon sellers, we imagine like we're solopreneurs sometimes, and that we're this in the cave going to town working. But going live doesn't have to be a solo show. Like you could have somebody manning the chat for you while you go live. If possible, I'd recommend that.
Yeah, that's true. All right. So just real quick to get a hold of Carlos, you got wizardsofecom.com, or if you want to give out your email, Carlos, tell them how they get a hold of you.
Easiest way to reach me right now is at Wizards of Amazon on Instagram. Where I'm always at is we have a free Amazon group chat on Telegram. So if you go to amazongroupchat.com, that screen is always open, with me. And then we have our meetup group, Wizards of Amazon, which you can find at amazonsellermeetup.com.
Yeah, that's perfect. Okay, one last question did come in. We'll answer this one. This will be the final one. Again, if you do have any other questions, you can hit up Carlos directly. And be sure after the show to head on over to accrueme.com if you're looking for Amazon seller funding. Last question just came in. When you say I can bring in an influencer, do you mean you give them access to your Amazon video, or do you a split screen for them? That's a good question, because we didn't go too much detail on that.
How's it going, Zubair? You can do both. What I was referring to though was doing a split screen, but you can do both. Like you can give them access to go live on your behalf. I prefer not even doing it as a split screen. It's technically a split screen, but it's like a techie term. You're just going to give them the screen, and that's going to be the layer that's showing. So you're technically in the background watching the stream, and they're like this looks right now, like Rob just brought me up. That would be the influencer, and so for everyone watching, they would just see the influencer.
Ah, nice. Yeah. So it's kind of like what we've been doing here a little bit. I mean, somewhat. So yeah. Once again, Carlos Alvarez, Wizards of Amazon, Wizards of Ecom. I appreciate you being on the Seller Growth Podcast.
Check out my podcast.
You're right. I will. I'd be more than happy to get on there. I'd love to do that with you. We could talk about YouTube and all kinds of other stuff. So I'm Rob Stanley, Chief Marketing Officer for Accrueme. Head on over to Accrueme, fill out a 3-minute form to get an instant funding estimate. Carlos, great information. Really appreciate you being on. And thanks, everybody, for watching and joining in. Appreciate it.